What's up everybody, Ratchet Davo here for another quick little video. Today I bought, or a couple weeks ago I bought from the Revzilla website some frame sliders and some swing arm sliders as well. These are going to roll off, so I'm going to put the frame sliders away. Some swing arm sliders as well. And this is all going to be for my 2018 Suzuki SV650. I think Suzuki, as far as I know, has made some factory option frame sliders. I could not find them anywhere. So Suzuki's websites and all that were very difficult to navigate through. But I was able to get some frame sliders. From what I can tell, I got these in the mail, these frame sliders, and they're missing actually another machine plastic piece that goes on top of this, so I'm going to have to email Revzilla back about that. For now, what we're going to do is we're going to install these. This is basically be the first time I mess with these. The swing arm sliders go right here, and there's a hole on each side, and I didn't realize until the other week that Suzuki had a factory like option for these sliders here on the swing arm. And then the front sliders are gonna bolt right here as far as I know, and there's a bolt that goes to the cylinder head on each side. And I'll probably just do one side and then just show the results of the other, but it looks like this is the other side, and one is shorter than the other from what the kit was telling me. So the rear sliders should be pretty easy. Looks like they're just a hex head bolt. Looks like just a little hex head here, and I believe, let's see what Allen key is correct. I'm trying to see if I can see a size on this Allen key. Looks like this is a 6mm Allen key here for these rear sliders, so that's pretty simple. So might as well just start with those because I believe they're just going to take a few seconds to install. These look to be exactly the same width, so it doesn't matter which side they go on. So hopefully these threads are right and everything's right for this bike. So we're just going to throw this camera down here. Hopefully y'all can see okay. And literally it should be as easy as throwing this rear slider, which, to be honest, because the exhaust is here, I don't see don't see it being extremely important to put these on here. But let's see. I'm hoping this is the right thread pitch. It kind of started, but okay, so the hole is just a little rusty. I think some water had gotten on the threads, so I'm able to, that's definitely the right threads. As you can see, that's going on pretty easily. And I guess in the case that I did lay the bike down and it slid, I just don't see these serving a huge purpose with the exhaust. I'll see what the other side looks like, but you know, it's just kind of, it's going to hit the exhaust, and the front frame sliders are going to do most of the work. But I saw these, I wanted to give them a try. So that's pretty easy. I haven't tightened it down all the way. Guess I can do that. That's literally all it is to it. Suzuki had a factory spot for swing arm sliders, and I'll just tighten it that much for now. I don't see that going anywhere. It looks pretty clean, but and ignore my stand here. But the other side, and I might have to turn this light off so it's not overwhelming, or I might just bring this light around to the other side just so you can see what I'm doing here. Same thing for this side. You just line it up, find the threads, and run a bolt through it. And this side, see, this is what kind of blows my, like, this, obviously this is the, almost like the rear axle bolt for the swing arm that holds the wheel in place and all that junk. It's almost the same height as the bolt, maybe not even. But when it comes down to it, what you're trying to do is protect this. The bolt is a replaceable part. This is a replaceable part too, but obviously I'd rather just replace a bolt over an entire swing arm. So, you know. So yeah, this is pretty easy. And just like that, they're installed. So that's the rears, easy enough. Looks pretty clean. Move this light back around to the front here. Alright, so now we're going to move on to this front frame slider, which according to the instructions, this front frame slider, the one with the longest bolt goes here. As you can see, this bolt's going to come out. And as far as I can tell, the motor's not supposed to go anywhere when you take this bolt out. It should be a pretty in and out easy install. So we're going to line that up. Alright, so we're going to begin installing this front frame slider here. And I'm just going to go on this side. Like I said, it's going to be this bolt right here. It's not entirely in the light, but it'll make sense here. So what I have here, what tools I have, I just have a 3/8 ratchet, and whether it's supposed to be standard or metric or not, I lined a 9/16 up to it socket, and it fits really well, and it's one that I don't think is going to strip out or anything. So we're just going to do that number there, and just like that, that bolt is loose. And from what I can tell, the motor has not even moved whatsoever. So that bolt is out. That's the factory bolt. Now what we got here is a slider. A bolt goes into the slider like that. And we're going to go all the way in with it. You can't really hand tighten this right off the bat, and you're going to have to use, it looks like it's a hex key once again. And it's bigger than the 6mm which we just used. Let me see if I have one. I might have to go hunt one down real quick, and I'll start the video back up. Let me go hunt one down. Okay, so I was able to hunt down an Allen key, or an Allen wrench, which I believe is probably an 8mm, but I'm not 100% sure if that's the exact size. So, same thing. I'm going to run it through. This should be long enough to go on there. You want to be really careful. These threads are very specific, so you want to make sure you find the threads. Go slowly at first. Make sure you really did find the threads to this, and then you can start kind of going to town on this. And I might actually have an 8mm socket hex, but literally just to get it to some sort of tightness right there, that's already like, that's pretty much it. That's as easy as this install gets. And right now it's pretty even with everything else. It's missing a part, and I'm gonna have to email Revzilla about that, because there's a plastic piece that goes on top of this that pushes it a little bit farther out. But as you can see right now, that's the frame slider. Very clean. I like the machined finish. It kind of goes with the bike. It looks very good. So I like that. And it's just a small little, what's cool about these, and I was trying to just say this, but instead of it being on one of these bolts that runs all the way through the frame, it's on just this little tab here. So if this bike slides, the frame I don't believe is going to get bent from that. Just throw that back up there. I'll probably tighten everything down in a minute. I don't know the exact torque specs to that, but you want to make sure that, and I might try to throw the torque specs in the comments once I figure them out and I'll read up on them. But whatever this bolt was torqued to spec for, I'll probably just return it to the factory specs, and that'll be good enough. The same thing is going to apply to the other side. It's not any different. There's a bolt right here that connects to the cylinder head. It'll be the shorter of the two bolts for the frame slider kit. Do that on the left side, and that literally will complete your bike having sliders. I didn't do bar end sliders because I have bar end mirrors already, and I've actually slid this bike once, and the bar and mirrors did a great job, so I'm not too worried about it. That's as easy as an install for frame sliders get. It is for the SV650, but I'm pretty sure for a lot of installs that'll be what you need to do for other bikes as well. Thanks for watching and enjoy riding.